I don't know about you guys, but it feels like the term target audience doesn't mean anything anymore. If it ever meant anything. Because no matter what demographic you try to aim for with whatever you make, somehow, almost 75% of the time, it will attract the opposite audience to a point where it becomes most of its consumer base. It's not that there's anything wrong with adults enjoying stuff catered for children. Who do you think I am? But it's an entirely different story when children are enjoying certain stuff catered for adults. I'm gonna sound like a fucking boomer, aren't I? You see, this may come as a surprise to you, but a lot of media that is intended for a mature audience has stuff that is not suitable for people under that mature audience. The most known case being mascot horror indie games. Five Nights at Freddy's has jump scares and literally stuffs your body into a mechanical suit. Baldi's Basics has jump scares and a loud scary evil teacher. Poppy Playtime has jump scares and a scary cat toy that unalives you with its breath. Garden of Banban has jump scares and exists. All of them are not intended for children in any way, but for some reason, children eat this kind of stuff up. It's mainly due to how appealing the main characters look themselves with their cute and cuddly designs, despite the games making them scary, and commonly, the indie creators either ignore it or double down for the sole purpose of it's caused these mascot horror games to gain a very mixed reputation, and yeah, it's a downer. Most of them aren't bad games at all, but their reputation has become so associated with their fans that it's sort of tainted people's views of them. However, it looks like now that it's not just happening to mascot horror, because another indie work from a different medium has fallen victim to this, which is the least I expected it to happen to. I'm of course talking about The Amazing Digital Circus. The Amazing Digital Circus is an animated web series created by the independent Australian animation studio Glitch Productions and YouTube animator Gooseworks. The show centers around a woman, whom we call Pomni, getting trapped inside a digital realm with 5 other humans where a wacky AI named Kane sends them out on potentially very dangerous adventures both physically and mentally. Together they face these adventures head on and try to go the longest without losing their heads and abstracting because there's no way out. Not that we know of, at least. I'm not sure if I really had to give the show an introduction because I'm positive most of you watching know what it is, or at least heard of it by now. When the pilot first dropped back in October of last year, it just exploded in popularity to a point where it didn't just become the most viewed indie pilot on YouTube, but it also got nominated for a fucking Annie Award of all things. The show, which is only 2 episodes in by the way, is a pretty big deal right now. But sadly, like I said, it fell into the same trap as many other popular mascot horror games, despite it not exactly being a game or being horror. However, not only has it attracted a child audience with just the characters alone, even with its dark nature and frequent reminders that it's for an older audience, but it's also that it has spawned a lot of content farms. Content farms are a genre of YouTube channels that serve no other purpose other than to constantly pump out the most mind-numbing, low-effort slop targeted towards children that rots their brains with half the time harmful garbage, and is a grim reminder that this generation of children is so fucked. Common symptoms include corny thumbnails and computer-generated titles, obnoxious audio,
Darn it! Jax? Drag us off! What's up, baby? I will protect you. Do not worry.
half-assed animations. I mean, some look pretty decent, but most of the time look like and when there aren't any animations, there will either be very cheaply made toys or cheaply made costumes. But unsurprisingly, they come in many forms, not just in poorly done skits and toy reviews, but also gaming videos, reaction videos, comic dubs if it comes from somebody like this dude, and whatever the hell this is.
Yeah, I'm coming through. I'm coming for you, Pomni.
This kind of shit has infested YouTube ever since someone decided to make their Spider-Man and Elsa fanfiction public, and it really is a contender for some of the worst content to have ever disgraced the platform. It's astounding. But why do they exist? It should be obvious. Their sole purpose is to profit off of kids' feeble minds by feeding them atrocious trash that feels like a Hanna-Barbera parody except dangerous for kids. And of course, YouTube isn't doing anything because they're YouTube. You know, the YouTube that has tried to make their platform more family friendly out of fear of complaining parents. I'm just gonna say straight up that if you're allowing your child on YouTube and they stumble upon an inappropriate video and you blame the site itself rather than your lack of child monitoring, then you're a horrible parent. I don't make the rules. So yeah, the Digital Circus content farms aren't really that much different from any others out there. They're ugly, there's zero accuracy to the show, and they really like shipping Jax and Pomni for some reason. Okay, to be fair, it's not just a content farm thing. Jax and Pomni are frequently shipped across the fandom, and I know I'm randomly going off on a tangent here, but I'm gonna be real and say that I don't get it. They've had little to no dynamic and interaction with each other, and the most they've interacted was to show how much Pomni hates Jax. You guys can ship whoever you like as long as you aren't killing each other over it, but I don't know, it just sounds like a toxic relationship. Plus, I'm more of a Ragatha and Pomni person. Sorry. Wait, where was I? Obviously, I'm not the first person to be grossed out by the content farms, as many people have already expressed their deep distaste for their very saddening existence. But I don't think anybody is as openly against them as, surprisingly, the crew behind Digital Circus themselves.
Take a look!
What the f am I looking at?
The consequences of our actions!
And it's only going to get worse from here.
Remember when I said that creators of indie projects often ignore or double down to appease their accidentally created underage fanbase? Well, Gooseworks might be the only one I know that's trying to do the opposite. To clarify, almost half of the show is pre-written at this point, so while the content farms hadn't had any effect on the show itself, and probably won't anytime soon, Goose has been very vocal about her hatred towards them, and she even talked to Glitch about it. Multiple times. Unfortunately, there's not much they can do. No matter what, these content farms are just gonna keep popping up like flies. For the love of God, there's even murder drones and has-been hotel content farms now. Do I even need to explain why that's a problem? If anything, the only one who has the power to stop them is YouTube. But again, their response has been nothing but so, I guess in the end, it's not likely that these content farms are gonna go away anytime soon, which sucks, but the best thing we can do is not feed them any views. I know making this video is technically giving them more attention, but I'm also wanting to shed light and give my input on the matter because a lot of the internet's advice I've seen just amounts to be mad about it and almost nothing else.
The Netspend Nuggets, Max Design Pro, Lanky Box, Skibbity Toilet, everything. That's gonna be nothing in like 30 years. There's always gonna be something more brain rot that drops. If you made this far into the video, comment Netspend Chicken Nugget.
My word on it is just, don't give them clicks. It's literally what they want. Block them, report them, and the parents, just get your kids off YouTube. I promise you, there are much better shows out there for your child than this crap. While the amazing Digital Circus is obviously still popular and will continue to be for as long as it's running, it's things like those content machines and other stuff I'm blanking on that are in some way scaring people off from it. I mean, the pilot reached 100 million views in its first month, and as I'm recording this, the second episode has been released for over a month and it's still yet to reach that milestone. Plus, there has been some sort of resistance against the show with some people seeing it as YouTube kids slop, which is a bummer because the show so far is great. I've been a fan since day one and I'm more than excited for its future episodes. Though I am gonna save making a video on it until the show officially wraps up, since then I'll be able to do it more justice. In short, should content farms be erased from the internet and forgotten forever? Absolutely. But it's gonna be a long time, if ever, before that happens, and for now we should just block them, report them, caution those, and move on, and maybe don't let it evade the bright future that Digital Circus has ahead of it, because it's a pretty bright future. Oh, and maybe the content farm channels will stop exploiting and abusing their employees? Just a thought. I'm Miyachi, and this concludes my broadcast day. Thanks for watching, everyone. I've got my own business to attend to. Yeah, that's right, Ragatha. This time, I'm gonna be Pomni. Of course I'll suck your tootsies, you little slut.
Hey, police! Open up!
Oh, fuck!
Shiver me timbers!